The ultimate mission of Darkness to Light, to end childhood sexual abuse, can only be accomplished by sharing the solution of prevention, awareness, and education with more and more people. Being an active participant in the mission to end childhood sexual abuse is one of the most rewarding things that they will ever do, and they cannot do it without you. Joining us in the studio today to talk about their efforts within the community and how you can help is Kim Alvarez, Authorized Facilitator for Stewards of Children, Child Sexual Abuse Prevention Program, Darkness to Light organization. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about the organization you represent?
Okay. Darkness to Light is a national nonprofit organization based out of Charleston, South Carolina. That's where it started. We are across all 50 states. We have over 8,000 facilitators now in all 50 states and additional 16 additional countries, excuse me. And we have 3 languages that we provide the prevention training in: English, Spanish, and Icelandic. So it uses an evidence-informed platform where Darkness to Light developed this training program called Stewards of Children, and it teaches adults to prevent, recognize, and react responsibly to child sexual abuse. Because at Darkness to Light, we believe that it is the adult's responsibility to protect children from, the sexual advances of a perpetrator, because it's very difficult to expect children to fend off that manipulation of a perpetrator. Because typically what happens is the perpetrator not only grooms the child through a process, they also groom the parents as well. So
to try to hide everything. So the main purpose of your organization is education then? Yeah,
the main purpose is education. Children are the ultimate beneficiary of what we do. We seek to provide, all children with the opportunity to grow up healthy and happy with their sexual boundaries intact. So therefore, Darkness to Light enlists support and assistance from all adults in all communities across the nation and abroad. We reach out to educators in schools, public schools and private schools, staff and volunteers in youth-serving organizations, as well as faith centers, and then also students enrolled in youth-serving degree plans at higher education. They're like an elementary education.
Okay, how much community outreach do you do? Like, how often?
Well, as far as doing my training programs, I typically do them once a month at the Polk County Sheriff's Office. But I go into other organizations like churches and faith centers and private homes. Adults get together, like young mothers get together and get a group together, and I come in and do the trainings for them there. And then, like I said, in the churches. So I go anywhere. We trained 10 more facilitators in Central Florida a year and a half ago, so we're really expanding. When I first started as a facilitator in Florida, I was only one of 7. Now we have about 30. However, in Florida, we're a little behind the ball, and we're trying to increase that because across the nation, there are many more programs and more child advocacy centers that are conducting these the Stewards of Children prevention program, as well as YMCAs or Ys across the nation. So we do have a lot of work to do here in Florida, and I've been working as an independent for the past 4 years doing this. I work full time. I just do this on the side. So counting my hours is almost impossible because I'm on the phone and on line all the time trying to reach out to people. Currently working with Jane Waters Thomas on the No More Polk County 2015 campaign, which is a good thing to help reach out to the communities for adults and children, because I think it's important to understand that we need to educate children on how to protect their personal boundaries, and also to tell if something happens. We have to give them that opportunity. And then as adults, reaching out and doing more programs here in the county so we can sort of build a wall of protection around our community.
It sounds like you're really passionate about this.
Very passionate, and the reason I am passionate about it is because I was a victim myself of child sexual abuse beginning at the age of 8, and I did not come out about it until I was almost 50. So, and it was a very difficult time. I think if we can get children to talk about it in an early age, the psychological symptoms do not manifest over time because there's so many consequences that occur from being a victim of child sexual abuse, depression, alcohol, drug abuse, eating disorders. Now it's mimicking ADHD and ADD are mimicking child sexual abuse. So sometimes it's very hard to recognize. So we have to be educated on how to recognize what is abuse and what is an actual disease. And then also there's so many disease states that come from being a survivor of child sexual abuse. It's been found and proven that diabetes, cancer, hypertension, obesity come from being a victim of child sexual abuse or trauma in childhood, because not all disease states are born out of genetics. It's typically born out of culture.
It is. And I know that statistically, the earlier that they come out about it, then the more resources they have, access to and privy to, that they can get counseling and reduce a lot of that.
Right, and Darkness to Light does offer all types of resources like that, crisis line where they can help support families and also adult survivors get help. We have a plethora of books and children's books that we offer. Stewards of Children training is a 2-hour, two-part presentation that integrates commentary from actual sexual abuse survivors, experts in the field, and other concerned adults who come together and offer practical guidelines on how to prevent and respond to child sexual abuse. It also includes an interactive workbook that we go through and use. It provides key concepts and a resource guide, and it also acts as a personal prevention plan that the participants take home with them. And then in between the video commentary, we also go through interactive discussions about ways to prevent child sexual abuse, how to address, and then how it impacts and affects community and our youth.
So you have both resources to help people who are already victims, and then your big push is the prevention of it ever happening.
Absolutely.
And people being able to be aware and know that it's coming and see the red flags. What are some of the red flags?
Some of the red flags, and this is what we also educate. First of all, we educate on 5 simple steps to protecting children. The first being learning the facts about it. It's important that we understand what the reality is of child sexual abuse. And what the consequences are and the circumstances around it. It also includes minimizing opportunity, and that is by recognizing risky behaviors and addressing those right away, setting a boundary and moving on. First of all, a perpetrator, like I said, will groom not only the child, but they groom the family as well. They want to pay particular attention to a particular child, and they seem to target a child they know that is vulnerable, but they also target a family that they know is vulnerable, that aren't watching for the signs. And for some reason, perpetrators know this. There's been several studies done on with pedophiles, and this is what they say: the signs are always there, but no one's asked them about them. So this is what we educate again with stewards of children. Somebody that wants to spend alone time, it pays a lot of attention to the child. For instance, like if somebody wants to work, a neighbor wants to work with your child on their homework, they'll just invite them over, and they'll do the homework there. That's a perfect opportunity for them to be alone with the child, and to start manipulating them and grooming them. And then it goes on from there. Then also one of the other steps is, recognizing the signs once someone has been abused. Like I said, they're not always, overt signs, but changes in behavior, acting out, anger, rage, eating habits. Fear, nightmares, things like that, bedwetting, just some signs and cutting. A lot of victims of child sexual abuse do cut because they're trying to feel pain because they've disassociated during abuse.
Right.
And so they, in order for them to feel pain, they've stuffed it down so hard, sometimes they begin cutting. And then also reacting responsibly. Those are the 5 steps that we do teach.
You're providing such an important resource. I know, there's people very close to me who have been victims, and it's very important to be able to recognize everything and to be able to help these kids. And if other people want to get involved and help, how can they do that?
Well, first of all, they can go to the Darkness to Light website, www.d2l.org, and you can find a facilitator in your area, or they can take the training online. They can begin talking about it and spreading the word, because talking about it, prevents it. Taking the training helps prevent it. Getting involved helps prevent it. And doing all of these things, it really helps deter a perpetrator from wanting to target you or your children, also in an organization. They can contact the facilitators in their area. I'm here for Polk County and all of Central Florida. I've traveled to Tampa and Orlando to do trainings. And then I can set up a training. But I also, when I do the trainings at Polk County Sheriff's Office, it's many times by word of mouth. I send out flyers. It's in the paper. It's on the Polk County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. So those are ways, and my contact information is on the website as well.
Okay, is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
I wanted to just share what other programs that we do offer. There are, once someone has taken the training, we offered supplemental modules where they can go online and take those courses for free. It's talking to your children about safety from sexual abuse, commercial exploitation of children, and also bystanders, protecting children from boundary violations and sexual abuse. And I think there's one more, but I can't remember the name of it, but there's all sorts of resources out there. And so I encourage everyone to go on Darkness to Light. And there's a section in there where they can join the movement. You can either make a donation to our nonprofit, or you can sign up to receive a newsletter, and you will receive periodic information on child sexual abuse prevention and protection tips.
That sounds great, and I just want to thank you for coming out today and sharing your own personal story and letting us know about this organization.
Thank you for having me.
You too can join the movement to end child sexual abuse by staying informed, staying involved, and staying in touch. Darkness to Light believes that adults should be taking proactive steps to protect children from this significant risk. If you would like to volunteer or support the Darkness to Light programs, you can give them a call at 863-651-4964 or look them up on the web at www.d2l.org.